Greetings, ONYXCON family. This is the voice of Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist founder and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcome to another episode of an ONYXCON exclusive where I got the opportunity at DragonCon 2023 to interview none other than Demetrius Holt. Demetrius is a legend these days in the cosplay world. He's a former bodybuilder, a great dad, and just an all-around cool guy. We did a walk and talk, and then we also found a place finally at DragonCon in all the hustle and bustle of it to sit down in a quiet enough space to really get an interview. This will feature just the best, literally the highlights of some of the greatest things he said. It was a lot longer than this, but we really want you to capture the energy of him as an individual and also what he is building with BLERD and POWERFUL. Pay attention. Class is in session.
And honestly, he's just paying attention. You know, a lot of people don't know how to do that and then implement in a way that serves their purposes correctly. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm not saying that folks don't do it. It's just maybe they don't have the resources to do it. Or you know, some folks get emotionally compromised, mm-hmm. and then they ruin whatever opportunity they have because they overshare. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of things that you don't have to put on the internet, right? But people feel like in order to be more personable, they need to do that. I'm like, no. You know, you have to manage your public image as much as possible because you don't know who is going to either, one, be inspired by you, right, two, want to work with you, yep, to the point where they're willing to pay you, uh-huh, you know, or three, who would want to avoid you, right, based on what you do, what you say publicly. Absolutely. You know, I had to learn that, you know, and the only reason that I learned that is because I have like a really good support system that pulls me to the side. And it's like, Demetrius, is this really what you want to do? Or, you know, or I'm able to go to them, like, what do you all think about this? Yeah. Because I'll be the first one to say that any level of success that I have is owed to a lot of people who helped me on their own. You know, they didn't have to, but they saw something in me that they believed in. Yeah. So it's only right for me to do as much as I possibly can to honor their hard work and their frustrations and, mm-hmm, you know, their want to be there for somebody like myself because they can see a brighter future for not only myself but other people that I may inspire, or that I may be able to help as far as like the culture. Yeah. And everything that I've been doing with BLERD and POWERFUL or BLERD Station or, you know, the Black-owned conventions or just in general, like even my son, you know, we're doing the good work. Yeah. You know, who's the senator that passed John Lewis? Yeah. You know what I mean? He says, you know, make good trouble. Good trouble. You know? And if you don't really take all the lessons that all of our ancestors, that all of our predecessors, and all of our friends who are currently in, you know, the trenches with us right now, if you don't take that and actually apply that to everything that you do, then what are you doing? That's right. What are you doing? Right. You're just out here playing around, and you're not getting anything done, and you're not making a difference. Yes, sir. And it's true, it might not be everyone's role to make a difference, mm-hmm, but I'm a child of the 80s. Yeah. So with the way that Reagan had all of us indoctrinated, as far as a certain type of messaging, you know, in our media, where you got He-Man saying, I have the power, or Captain Planet saying the power is yours, or the Power Rangers coming out talking about may the power protect you. Mm-hmm. You know, we have been in so many different situations where we are inundated with the mindset of being able to do more for ourselves than have people do for us. Yeah. You know, and all it takes is a little bit of effort. Yeah, it is. And it's like we're living in a state of the culture now where people just decide, well, since I exist, I need to get all of these benefits and not have nothing, you know, worked for, but just given to me. Right, all that entitlement. Yeah. And then they're mad when nothing goes well for them. Yeah. And that's when I started, you know, talking to a lot of people about what BLERD Station could be. Mm-hmm. And I got more into talking about it and more into finding out, you know, that we could actually free a lot of content creators, mm-hmm, this way. Like if you were to go and you talk to a lot of content creators on TikTok, they feel like they're chained Like this, it's the only way for a lot of people to get notoriety, but you have to do so under community guidelines, or you're under the thumb of people who are trolls who want to dox you or who want to mass report you, and you can't monetize yourself. Same thing on YouTube. You say something wrong, your monetary stream gets cut off, because YouTube has this policy. BLERD Station is a way to free the content creator for them to be as creative as they want to be, as not wild, because
still some boundaries. You're still gonna keep it healthy,
but you can be as black as you want to be without having a code switch, and that's the biggest thing about me is that I don't want a code switch.
I know from just our first meeting today and previous conversations that I've had with this brother online, I have a definition for what true black excellence is, and then there's other stuff. So I don't use the phrase for the culture because there's no one culture.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No. We are cultures.
Yeah.
So this part here that you're talking about is the most important ingredient to me, because if you're saying that literally it's going to work like a YouTube where pretty much anybody can have a channel in this or stake in this to a certain degree and present shows, content, and everything, which already has my ears wide open for what ONYXCON can give. You got to put up those boundaries early and let people know. But, we come mofos, MFs, this, that, and the other, every other word you say too, because at a certain point it can get so crass and so ratchet that, there's people who think ratchet is a culture. No, ratchet is a deformity. Yep. It ain't no damn culture. It's a deformed, it's the result of deformed, deprived, oppressed, etc. And to the point we start accepting it and thinking, it'll be all right. And then it always comes back to kickers, you know what I mean? So,
Zeus. It's cool to be free, but then yet there's got to be some level of line to keep you from being so free to the point where you can't have your kids around. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have Kawhi with me wherever I go.
That's his son, by the way.
But and I can't if it's too much, then I have to leave, and that's my prerogative, and that's my job as a parent to monitor what he is privy to. So if people are always on that level, it's fine to get to that line.
There's a time and place for everything.
But
and even then, there's limits on what everybody gonna do and what all of us ain't gonna do.
You still got laws. You know what I mean? You still but in any case, all I'm saying is that there's a level of freedom that we offer that you don't get on these social apps. Now, it's not so much of a YouTube application. Okay. It's more like it's more of a Netflix / streaming platform. So let's just say we have an organization called Hip Hop and Gaming. It's called HAT, right? They go around the country. They host BLERD bashes. They have a good amount of people who follow them. But and so what we do for them is not only would we have a show that showcases what they do to get to that point to throw that BLERD bash. We would also live stream it.
Nice.
And then have it as as on-demand content for people to see how they do things, what they do. And we understand that everyone's IP is important to them. We're not trying to buy people's IPs. We'll license it from you. That means we'll pay you for you to be on our service. And if you have followers, if you have people that believe in who you are and your mission, and you can turn them into subscribers, then why not to do that? And then you get a paycheck at the end of the month for them, for yourself or whatever. Because when they're paying into BLERD Station, they're paying the content creators.
Nice.
And if they have content creators that they're fans of, why won't they help them support them? Because you're getting the content that you sign up for all the time.
Right.
And it's just like this turns into an actual Black Hollywood because along with these content creators, we have Hollywood partners that we are creating multi-million-dollar, anime, live action, television shows, and movies. So it is not just a one-trick pony of just reality television and content creation. We're talking about full-on productions that will rival that of Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and anything that you see on network television. And we're doing this for $10.99 a month. And the thing is, if you sign up for 36 months, and you can cancel any time, but if you do this for 36 months consistently, you become a part owner of the company itself.
Like you get your stock.
You get stock. You get stock options. You get equity. You know, you have a way to have some level of generational income.
Yeah.
Which is something that black folks really haven't had, unless you know somebody who knows somebody, or you actually born into it, or whatever. But if we're trying to pull our people or our peoples from various levels of poverty, yes, you're asking them to pay to do that, but we're giving you the option to do so, and then you still get entertained along the way. You see yourself represented in ways that you have never really been seen before, because again, mainstream media would rather have black folks be thugs or murderers or drug dealers or something of the sort, as opposed to being what you saw in Black Panther, where it's royalty, scientists, authorities, people of authority, statesmen,
all the artists.
Like there's so many things that we could be doing. Like we could be in space, we could be aliens, we could be fairies, we could be werewolves, vampires, mad scientists. We have the ability to be anything that our imaginations create, but we've never really had the opportunity to. We never really had the budget to. But this is what's changing now. This is what BLERD Station is all about: is freeing us from the rigmarole and the monotony of having to capitulate to, Middle America.
You gotta say that big word.
SAT words.
I love it.
But that's the mission, that's the goal, that's who we are, and that's what we're going to do, because we're already doing it.
Yes, sir. Man, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome, bro. Now, you sent me some information about this, so trust me, this won't be the last time you hear about it. I'm saying on camera, in one way or another, I will be a part of this for ONYXCON. ONYXCON will be a part of this. We're gonna figure it out.
There's ideas that. Because again, I'm an advocate for black-owned comic book conventions. I am also an advocate for black-owned comic books. So let's just say there's a show in the works where I'm able to give a comic book owner $5,000 to $10,000 without having him do a Kickstarter or anything like that. Right? We get his first book, it's the first issue, produced, mass-produced, and then we sell it at a black-owned convention, and we televise it. Not only are we giving him notoriety, or her notoriety, but we're giving the convention notoriety for what we're doing. And then hopefully, people will catch on to it, and then we start getting more foot traffic to that convention, because it's being televised, right? So the name of that show will be Issue 1.
Okay.
And this is something that BLERD Station.
This is one of your concepts for it, or
actually, this was pitched to me by Kevin.
Okay, that's
he was like, with what you do for BLERD and Powerful, let's not make that into a show. How about we make that into a show where we actually boost the notoriety of the conventions as well as the comic book creators that you happen to be friends with. So again, and then these are people who would not be normally known or commonly known. So we're looking at upstarts who are trying to get this stuff together right now so that we can push them out. And then from there, they have a little bit of momentum. Let's get them the steam to go. And you sink or swim on your own, but you at least have some help from BLERD Station.
That's dope. Well, I want to say, on that note, as I know we need to start and wrap this up.
I'm sorry. I have a panel at 2:30, and I'm not trying to be an ass.
We seconds away from where he need to be on a panel. So
we've been hanging out since like 11.
We've been moving,
talking for like 3.5 hours.
For real. So I'm gonna let this brother go, but I want to just say thank you so much, man, for having you as a guest. It's an honor. This is not the last. We're gonna talk a lot more, and you're gonna get used to seeing him as a part of ONYXCON family, because you are.
Thank you. Okay, I appreciate that. All right, man. Yo, sign up for BLERD Station.
BLERD Station.
Right? As soon as he edits this.
Will do.